Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the September 9th Camp Springs Civic Association meeting. And this is our first virtual meeting of our new season. Welcome in President, Ms. Monique Taylor.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Welcome. I want to say first, good evening, Camp Springs and friends. Welcome to our first meeting of our fiscal year. As the newly elected president, I want to give greetings and thank you for your support as I take on this new role. Mr. John Bailey, I want to thank you for your support, your insight, and guidance through this transition. I pray that everyone is doing well and staying safe in these unprecedented times dealing with the coronavirus and the variants. And if your doctor says it's safe to take the vaccination, please do so. We want everyone to be safe out here. Now, the Camp Springs Civic Association is striving to make a difference and do great things. In fiscal year 2022, our focus is on improving the safety of our community, to continue with our community cleanups, continue to work with our officials on crucial issues to better our community, and to build community camaraderie. And that's to include our residents, our businesses, the school system, and with the fine police of Prince George's. Website. Tammy Jones, newsletter. Beverly Taylor, transportation and senior citizen liaison. We have two interim chairs. We have Sam Williams, community engagement, Harris Tate, and Wayne Wright, interim co-chairs for business engagement. And we have Betty Cahoon and Claudia Poole. Now, the qualification to be part of this team is being a CSC member, dedicated, interested in making a difference in the community. Now that school has started, let's protect our precious scholars. Please slow down and look around. This weekend is the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 tragedy. Continue to pray for the families and their families who lost loved ones, our survivors, and our first responders. And include in your prayer the victims of Ida. And I hope you all have seen that our newsletter is back. It was sent to you via email. If you did not receive it or other correspondence via email, check your social, promotional, and junk mail boxes. The emails are more than likely in one or more of these mailboxes. Well, we have an action-packed agenda. Without further ado, let's welcome our COPS officers. So, do we want to start with Corporal Ponak to give out his report?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. And again, if everyone doesn't know, I'm Corporal Ponak. I'm the COPS officer for Frank 1B, which is basically from Kirby Road over to Allentown Road, down to Temple Hills Road, and everything north. I'm going to give you some crime stats for September. And actually in Frank 1B, we've fared better than the county as a whole for the month of August, actually not September, August. Stolen vehicles, we had 2, and we had 1 commercial breaking and enter. We had no commercial robberies, no citizen robberies, no theft from autos, which is kind of hard to believe, but we had none. And so as a whole over in Frank One Beat, we're doing pretty good.
Thank you, Corporal Polnick, for your report. Do we have any COPS officers from District 4?
Yes, good evening. I'm Corporal Miller. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Corporal Miller.
How you doing? Yeah,
Thank
I'm the
Thank
I'm
you
the
for being
community officer supervisor from District 4. I went back a couple of since I was on vacation. We had a couple of incidents that were over there, some of them major. Back on, I'm quite sure most of you are aware, back on the 1st of August, we had a homicide, Summer Hill Road. I don't know any more information that it was a homicide detective handled that. I have to check and see if the case has been closed. We also had another domestic dispute over there involving a shooting during that month, which we knew who the shooter was, so the detectives are investigating that. We have had commercial breaking and enterings, a couple of them that have been on St. Barnabas Road, mainly at night at the car dealerships, where they have stolen several cars, because basically the car dealership were leaving their keys unsecured. So we try to work with them to see if they can get it in a secure place. Other than that, besides them major incidents, nothing serious that theft of autos in your area enough. Anyone have any questions? Madam President, it's up to you. You have
So what we can do is, because we're also doing a Q&A with the commanders. So if questions come in, we can all, pick up those questions.
I'll still be here.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time. Okay, so thank you. So we can move on to our Vice President. You have something to say to us, Vice President Harrison, about membership?
Yes, I do. And we want to thank you guys for taking your time to give it to us. Membership. So I want to let the community know that we are here at Camp Springs. What are we trying to do is build a great community. And it takes you guys. It takes you guys to join us to make sure that we can make our community better and make it safer for all of us. We here working, but we definitely need you guys to join us. We need you guys to try to sign up and help us out. We can make this community better, make it safer for all of us. We all have the passion and love for the community, our neighbors, but we just need more people. So I'm reaching out to all of our communities and our families, and tell everybody we need you to join us to help us really create and mold a better place that we want to live. We want to thank our officers for giving their time. We just want to thank you for all you do, and we want you to join us. Please be a member. Please just join us, because we need more people to help so we can get a lot of things done. Yeah, just want to thank you guys for just giving your time and listening to us. We just want to thank you.
How can they join us?
Sure, you can join us at our website. You can join us, www.campspringsca.org.
And I think they should go to the join tab, and then they can pay via online.
Yes, you can pay via online. Use your app. We PayPal. We have all of that. We have everything set up for you. We just want you guys to join. We need people. Thank you, President.
Yeah, and if you don't want to use the online, you can always send in your $15 membership payment or your business $25 membership payment. Thank you for your time. So, Mr. Harrison, we are at the point that we have the speaker of the hour. Can you please do the introductions?
Yes, I can. All right. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you Deputy Chief Kevin D. Hughes. He oversees the Bureau of Patrols and the largest operational component of the police, Prince George's County Police Department. Prior to this assignment, he was the Deputy Chief of the Bureau of Forensic Science. His career includes 33 years of law enforcement experience and at the PGCP members of various ranks and command posts. He serves as part of the core managerial team and leading more than 1,700 police officers and 300 civilian members, serving over 900,000 residents and business owners. Deputy Chief Hughes holds a Bachelor in Arts degree from the University of Maryland College Park. He also attended multiple schools in investigations and leadership. He is a subscribing member of the Police Executive Research Forum and graduate of the Senior Management Institute for Police. And with all of that he does for the police department, he finds the time to coach and volunteer and train and work with students. We want to give you a warm welcome. Deputy Chief Hughes, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, and thanks everyone for the invitation this evening. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I've been here for 33 and a half years at Prince George's County Police Department. I still enjoy coming to work every day. I still enjoy the community effort and our partnership with the community, and I enjoy working with my partners, my officers on the street and everything. This is my first full week of being the Deputy Chief for Bureau Patrol, so I'm still getting my feet wet, but I'm deeply in the water now and just learning as much as I can, as fast as I can. But I look forward to this partnership, this relationship. I am sure that any question that I cannot answer for you, that Major Dickerson or Major Olaire will be able to answer, or our cops officers. So thank you for having me on this evening, and let's get started.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Moni?
We appreciate you. So what we did, we polled and got some questions from the community to get us started. Mr. Harris Tay will be directing the questions. So Mr. Tay.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And we are really excited to share these concerns from the community. Our first question is, we have a high population of homeless in our community. We've noticed that some actions have been taken, but all that is done is cause them to move from one area to the next, sitting at the bus stops and benches. Are you aware of any assistance for the homeless population? There seems to be no resolution occurring. Also, several businesses have complained about the homeless frequenting their lots and leaving litter, needles, and bodily fluids, etc.
Okay. You want me to answer that question or one of the majors? I can start off by answering it. We have had a homeless population problem in Prince George's County, and there is a social service component that will come out and visit with that individual to determine whether they need assistance. And what's interesting enough, in some of the cases, they did not want assistance. And I'll tell you, like I tell everyone else, this is a problem we're not going to arrest our way out of. We have to develop programs and avenues to address it, other than putting handcuffs on someone and taking them off where they're going to be released within an hour before the paperwork is done. So it is being addressed, but we have to get more assistance from social services and involve family members and provide an avenue other than arrest to address their needs. And if one of the majors has something additional that they can chime in with, please do.
Yep, so this is Major Olaire. Good evening, everyone. It's great to see everyone. By the way, of all the communities in District 4, you guys have such community. So in District 4, we have taken of concern within the Oxnell Station, dealing with the homeless and the loitering and the drug users and the panhandlers. So the three areas we're addressing are Eastover Shopping Center area on Indiana Highway, Southern Avenue and Wheeler Road, and Allentown and Old Branch. I've been working with Mr. Bailey and some of the community members over there and have discussed some of this with them. So what we're doing to start this, it's a three-step approach. What we're doing to start is we're going out with our cops unit, Corporal Miller, Corporal McLaughlin, which a lot of the community know over there. And we're bringing Mr. Wendell Williams, who is the outreach director for social services for the homeless. We are engaging with them on a weekly basis. What we're trying to do is build the level of trust to get them to use the social services. Unfortunately, right now, 4 weeks in, and we're encountering the same individuals over and over, they don't want any services from social services other than food, water, or possibly socks and clothes. So we're still trying to build that trust. Unfortunately, the way it's going, if they are not going to work with us in reference to the services, we're going to start criminally citing them. And I know we can arrest our way out of this, but if social services isn't working, I can't allow the residents of Camp Springs to be walking down a sidewalk with their kids and walking past some of these people and have needles on the ground. So we're going to start criminally citing them in hopes that after they receive criminal citations, they'll either get services or they're going to go somewhere else. And then after a month of that, if they're still out there, we're going to take them to Upper Marlboro. And our hopes is that at some point during this process, they'll realize that they don't want to get the courts involved and they want to do the social services aspect. So I'm sure you have seen a lot of cruisers in the area of Allentown, Old Branch, underneath the bridge. I know I received a couple emails from some residents asking about the presence. So that's the stage approach we have right now moving forward. And we're going to do about 8 weeks of bringing social services out there to them before we start the criminal citation process.
Thank you very much. Also wanted to just remind for the people who are joining us on Facebook, if you add your questions, we will add them at the end of the questions that we're currently collecting, that we're currently presenting. Our second question is, we have a lot of illegal dumping in our area. There are supposed to be cameras to capture the illegal dumping. What police force is responsible?
So we team up with some of the other county entities when dealing with this. I know one of our big dumping problems were the 2 vacant houses on Old Branch. Hopefully very soon, fingers crossed, that property will be sold and they'll be able to tear those down. I think they're looking to maybe build something there. So hopefully that will take place there. And Middleton Lane, I know, is another problem where we're having dumper problems. We do have cameras in the county that we have been moving around. I will check if I put all my contact information. If you have specific areas that you're aware of, please email me those areas and we'll take a look to see if we can put cameras up. But it's also very hard to get tag numbers on these cameras. If anybody is seeing cars dumping, please get the tag number so we can follow up and criminally cite them for the dumping. But all my contact information is there. If you've got specific areas, please email me those or email Cedric Major Dickerson, and then we can look at possibly trying to put some cameras over there.
And everyone will make sure that those email addresses are sent out. Next question. The council voted to close Club Ecstasy, Nico Banquet Hall at 6306 Branch Avenue. We've been informed that they are still operating and noticed activity at the location. Their patrons have been parking on other business lots because they have very limited parking, and we have witnessed them cordon off their small lot. Furthermore, their patrons have been leaving trash in other businesses' lots. What can be done?
So this is Major Dickerson here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I kind of lost connection, so I had to sign back on with my my cell phone. So as far as that location is concerned, I was under the impression that they were still closed, so I will have to get my community police officers to coordinate with the Department of Permitting, Enforcement, and Inspections to do an inspection on that location. And we can find out what their current status is, and they can cite them if need be. But We'll also have our officers do some periodic area checks to check on the location as well. But we're going to get on top of that, and we appreciate you bringing that to our attention.
Thank you. Next, the county has 60 procured cameras to be placed in residential areas with speed limits of 35 miles per hour or less. This is to become effective in October. Are there any updates?
So I'll say, and I apologize for being out of uniform. I was at my son's football practice. So I do know that they have acquired cameras. It does not, I do know it doesn't take effect until October 1, but I'm not sure yet if any of the logistics of those cameras has been figured out yet. What I can do is I can check with that automated enforcement shop to see if there's any updates for that. But as of right now, I don't know if there are any.
I can chime in on
but
that.
I do know that these cameras, from what.
Yeah, I can chime in on that if you all can still hear me.
Yes.
Okay, so I came, automated enforcement was under me for some time. So the county is currently putting in a process to vet locations where the cameras can go. We simply just don't go put a camera where we get complaints. There's a process where we do some analysis, a lot of testing to determine whether it's a feasible site to put the camera, determine how many vehicles are traveling that roadway. And all that factors into whether a camera will go into that location or not.
In particular, what's been uplifted is Allentown Road and Brinkley Road.
Mm-hmm.
So are there any updates about those locations? Understanding that you still have to do the assessments, but Allentown Road has a lot of traffic.
It does, and so part of that process is how are we getting the information? Are citizens complaining about the speed of those locations? So the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So if we're getting complaints about that, that will probably be part of the vetting process to see where we can properly place these locations. I mean, these cameras to have the biggest impact.
So normally the request is for people to use 311.
311, correct. And now that the district commander is aware, also now that I'm aware, we'll see if we can what that process is right now.
Thank you very much. Next is, can you provide residents with some general safety tips? And I want to also add to that one is how can we curb the gun violence, the gun shootings? There seems to be a lot more lately.
Okay. Yep. So, I'll speak on safety tips and also in reference to the homicide on Summer Hill. There is no update from homicide at this point. I believe the victims are not being the most cooperative. One of the surviving victims, and I believe the witness, is not being the most cooperative with the police department. So they don't have any safety tips. We've been preaching for years. Hide all your valuables in your car. Everybody should have a Ring doorbell or some type of surveillance camera on their residence. When you're coming home at night and you see a car that might be possibly following you, maybe just drive around the block before you park. Things like that. It's the awareness of the community that is going to help provide the safety. So everybody should be, everybody in this call should be looking out for their neighbors as well. In reference to the gun violence, I do have some stats. As of right now in 2021, we have recovered 1,031 guns this year. In 2020, at this point, we had recovered 131 guns so far. As of this year, we have made, just in the District 4 alone, so we've recovered 1,034 guns. Just in District 4 alone, we have put the focus on our patrol officers to try to get guns on the street. So out of 1,034 guns in District 4, we have recovered 319 guns in District 4. So we're close to a third of all the guns that have been recovered. So the officers are out here aggressively patrolling and looking for, these guns to get them off the street. Last year we have made, this year so far, we've made 688 gun arrests in the county. Compared to, I believe, 600 last year. So one of the problems that we are seeing on the police department is also ghost guns. It's where you can buy all the parts online and manufacture your own guns. So we're seeing a rise in those this year compared to last year as well. But it's focusing our patrols in areas of concern. It's not allowing people to congregate in areas that we know they like to congregate and hang out in. Most of our shootings do occur outside. So, as officers are driving around, they're instructed if they see people outside, keep them moving, try to get everybody in their houses. So that's the focus. And, we have definitely recovered more guns this year. So that's what's kind of keeping us a little bit, even though our homicides are up, our violent crime isn't up tremendously.
Thank you for that.
And if I can chime in a little bit here. So for District 5, we haven't experienced that much violent crime, fortunately. But I would say that in terms of violent crime, as the Major stated, just be aware of your surroundings. We look at the community as our partners and our eyes and ears. So we hope that you all are paying attention to your surroundings. If you see anything suspicious, that you will call 911 or call us. And if you have any information on any crimes that have occurred, then we would implore you to call our investigative section, or if you want to remain anonymous, to call Crime Solvers. You can reach Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-8477. Again, Crime Solvers number is 1-866-411-8477. The other thing that you can do to help us out is to basically just, be good guardians of your own residence. If you have children or young adults in there, you should know where they are at late hours of the night and early morning hours. So, that's one thing that you can do, and we expect you, to kind of help us out with that. Just keep an eye on your own household and make sure that people are where they should be and they're not out, where they can get into any type of trouble. In terms of property crimes, you can help us out a lot by removing property valuables from your vehicle when you park them at night. It would help to park in a lit area as well, if you can, and lock your doors when you park your vehicles. One of the things that we have noticed a slight uptick in are jump-in type auto thefts. So one of the things that you can do for us is just make sure that you're not pulling up to grocery stores, convenience stores, gas stations, and leaving your vehicles running while you run in for a quick minute, because criminals are looking for those opportunities to take advantage of you and steal those vehicles. So please, just when you stop, even if it's just for a minute, park, put your car in park, cut the engine off and lock it, and come back and start it. Even when you're at the gas station pumping gas, you probably would do well to lock your vehicle while you're doing that as well. There have been some instances where criminals will come and open the passenger door while you're pumping gas and steal items out of your vehicle. So just a few things that you can do to help us help you.
Great, thank you. Next question. It appears that District 4 has not had a permanent cops presence for a couple years now. Are there any updates, and is there a shortage of officers in general?
Yeah, so we don't have a full complement of cops officers in District 4. our agency is, I think, allotted 1,800 officers, and I think right now we're at mid 1,400. So we are experiencing a shortage of officers. I do know Deputy Chief Hughes. He has just recently taken over the Bureau Patrol, and his goal is to take officers from some of these other bureaus and bring them back to patrol. And they're actually actively working on that now. So my hopes is that in these next couple of weeks, with some of the moves in the agency that Deputy Chief Hughes is doing, I'll be able to add some more cops officers. I will say that Chief Aziz, the new chief from Dallas, and as well as Deputy Chief Hughes, are very big proponents of community policing, and they think just as well as I do is that should be 50% of what we do compared to, our crime fighting strategy. So hopefully in the next month or so, we'll get some more officers in District 4. I will say though, the officers I do have in District 4, they count as 10. Each one counts as 10. They're phenomenal with what they do and handling the stuff in the community. But that is our goal, hopefully very soon.
And if it helps, the other thing to address that is that we are putting on a hiring push to bring more officers in the door, and we're looking at different incentives to get more people in the door. We are competing with area jurisdictions, but we have seen an uptick in the number of individuals we're able to get into the academy now.
Great. This question is for Deputy Chief. What is your vision for the department?
My vision for the department is whatever the chief's vision is, but it's really to enhance the community relationship, to make sure we're performing as it relates to 21st century policing, build on that relationship. When I came on this department back in 1988, our relationship for the community was completely different than the way it is now. It took time, it took trust, it took hard work to build our relationship to the point where it is now. And we still have relationship building to do. But my vision is to just keep moving forward, to increase our manpower, to make sure we provide a safe community that our children can go to school in, that they can play in, that they can go bike riding in, and that our citizens can go shopping. You shouldn't have to worry about whether if you leave something in your car at night that someone's going to steal it. That if you're pumping gas, someone's going to break your window, jump in your car and take off, or take something from your car. So we're looking to provide a safe community and build on a relationship that we have over the past 10, 15, 20 years.
Thank you. And now we're actually going to transition to some of the questions from Facebook, so the live community members. Let's see. First question is from Paula Rodriguez. Can you address the noise ordinance and response to those? I'm assuming that speaks to, there's a lot of noise going on in the neighborhood, whether it's, firecrackers, gunshots, ATVs. Is there any way to address people who are breaking the noise ordinance?
Okay, if one of the cops officers want to address that, that's fine.
Do we still have Corporal Ponak on the?
Yeah,
the
I'm
call?
trying to get back on here. Yeah, okay. The noise ordinance changed, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. It used to be a time frame on it. There is no time frame now as far as the noise ordinance goes. It's any time of the day that it can be enforced. If we get several complaints in the same area, we do go out there as a cops unit and do it. A lot of times the patrol officers will get the initial call for the noise, and then they forward it to us, and we'll go try and make contact with the people that are having the loud parties or whatever it might be. Sometimes we just had one the other day where we went down to on Croom Road and tried to make contact with them, and they just don't want to come out and talk to us about it. But there is no time frame. If it can be heard from 50 feet away and it's annoying to the neighbors, that's breaking the county ordinance. So we can cite them for that. But it's kind of hard to catch them at it. Usually most of the complaints we get are about loud parties on nights and weekends, and we do go and make contact with those homeowners and try and correct that situation.
Thank you.
And
This-
I'll speak also, it is Major O'Leary again, real quick. I will touch on that. You can always call the non-emergency line. If it's 11 o'clock at night and your neighbor's playing loud music and your kids are trying to sleep, call the non-emergency number, request officers to come out, and officers should come out to that at the problem address and advise them to turn that music down.
Thank you. I'm not sure who would be able to answer this question, but a community member asked that they heard that the restaurants at Apollo Restaurant Row, that they haven't opened because the restaurant owners are fearing that there's too much crime in the area. Have you heard about this, or is there anything you could offer that?
Is this off road?
I'm not sure. Apollo Restaurant Row? Anyone can help?
Yes, that's off road.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I did hear that on a call. COVID is also delaying a lot of incidents. I will say in reference to all of those, we don't see much crime in that area. So I would say I don't think that's the reason they're not opening. The only crime that we see in that area is theft from autos. We have 5 major condo buildings back there. In July, we met with all 5 condos. We discussed safety tips, made flyers for them to pass out. And then we also found out that they were not, when somebody moved out, they weren't taking the key fobs back. So those key fobs, so they were doing a security audit on that. And since July, we haven't had many instances back there. I can check with the business owners. If you want to send me an email, my information's in the contact. Send me an email. I'll check with the owners over there. But I believe COVID had a play in the delay of that.
Thank you. This next one is a response to the dumping question earlier. One of the locations, so this is more information, where there's excessive dumping is 5017 Brinkley Road. Again, 5017 Brinkley Road. Next question. Are you still encouraging the Neighborhood Watch program? And if so, how?
That's without a doubt. So that is what, that's what this call is about. That's why we're on this call. So what it takes is an active community to start that, and with the partnership of your cops officer. And I know we don't have a specific one assigned to Camp Springs, but I do know Corporal Miller and Corporal McLaughlin are always over there involved. So any communities first need the residents to become involved and then team up with the cops officer to create that Neighborhood Watch program. I do know several communities within the county that they do nightly walks on Friday nights, and they all have a bright greenish yellow shirt. And they encourage lights on the porches at 7 o'clock at night. So that it takes the community to get involved with the partnership of the police department.
Great, thank you. And we're winding down with our questions. This one says, what about the abandoned homes on Old Branch Avenue near the Exxon gas station? They appear to be broken into and are vacant with the roofs falling in.
Yes, so I have both of those houses caught fire over the past year. And the fire department arson squad is investigating that. Those are the properties I discussed earlier. I believe they might currently be under contract. They're just waiting for the permitting process through the county to finalize that deal. At that point, hopefully in this next couple months, those will be torn down. And I assume there's going to be plans to build maybe a gas station or something there. But if you remember, probably about a year and a half ago, there was no fence around those properties. So I dealt with the manager of those properties and put the pressure on him with DPI that he had to secure those buildings and put the fences up. Unfortunately, what they're doing is they keep cutting the fences. I do know Corporal Miller, Corporal Tussaud, and Corporal McLaughlin on a weekly basis go through those vacants, hoping to find people. And what we do is we find mattresses and stuff like that, and we communicate with them when we encounter those individuals, just to keep target hard nosed. But hopefully soon that property will be have a new owner and they'll start that process.
Okay, thank you. Just from the responses from previous meetings, I'm sure there aren't many friends when you say another gas station on that corner.
And I don't know. I'm only assuming that, you know, they're putting the Wawa, the Royal Farms. I'm sure a competing one will go there too.
All right. This is a response to your comments regarding collecting guns. They say, but specifically regarding the gunshots. Are you responding to and investigating those?
Yeah, so anytime we receive a call for gunshots, we assume that there's a shooting involved. So as soon as we get a call for gunshots, we respond. We look for victims. If we look for shell casings, if we find shell casings, we recover the shell casings, and all of the shell casings go to the ATF for analyzation, and to try to link those shell casings to possibly any other crimes that we have had across the country. So we do investigate all of those calls.
Great, thank you. All right, we're going to close the questions for this section. Thank you so much for all of your feedback. It's very helpful, and we hope to see you in future meetings as well. Yep.
Thank you very much. Can I get 2 minutes?
Sure.
Can I get 2 minutes on an open mic? All right, so I do want to give kudos to Major Dickerson. I'm not sure if anybody from the Camp Springs community was at his community event he had, I believe, a month or two ago. Very good event. Everybody loved it. Everybody kept talking about it. But as the commander of Oxon Hill, who was at that event, I kind of took offense. So I said, you know, we have to do something bigger and better than what Major Dickerson did, because his event was wonderful. So if everybody could please get a pen and piece of paper and write this date down. It's October 9th, and it's going to be from 12 to 4. This is a national event that police departments, 38 states did this last year. We partner with all of the faith-based communities. Pastor Burris from Central Baptist Church on Old Branch Avenue is the leader for our police department in partnership with this. He's the head of the Temple Hills Coalition of Pastors. We are getting every church in the Oxon Hill district to be involved. What we're doing is we're meeting at Eastover Shopping Center between 11 and 11:30. We're going to take buses to the 800 block of Southern Avenue. We have confirmed the county executive, the chief of police, Aziz, chairman of council, Calvin Hawkins, Deputy Chief Hughes, myself, MPDC, Metro Transit, and every church in the Oxon Hill district, we hope, is going to come as well. And we're going to walk from there to the Eastover Shopping Center. We will have buses to provide transportation if we have any seniors that don't want to walk. Once we get to the Eastover Shopping Center, we have a stage. We have the Prince George's County Police Band, who just reformed since 2011. They've been inactive. We have a Prince George's County Band. We have Music for Christ. It is another police officer on the agency who is part of a gospel band. They're going to be performing. And then we're going to have horseback riding for kids. We're going to have a COVID truck. We're going to have an HIV testing truck, blood pressure truck. We're going to have so many different activities for the community. And what we're trying to do is bring the police department, the faith-based community, as well as the other community, all the other communities in Oxon Hill together for one event to interact, to hopefully build that trust among all of us. So October 9th from 12 to 4. And I expect to see Camp Springs there, either wearing their shirts from their church or their Camp Springs church. And if not, I will be on this call next month, and I'm going to call everybody out.
So Commander Olaire, do you
Yes.
have a flyer? Because if
Yes.
you have
So
a flyer, we can post it on our website.
yeah, so I will have a flyer. We tried to finalize it today. We were waiting on a few things. I should have it tomorrow morning. And it also has on there, if you need the bus for transportation, there's going to be a registration. I think we're going to have a registration for vaccines. It'll have all the information on it. We're going to have hot dogs, hamburgers, Rita's ice cream. We're going to have so many different activities for the community to partnership with the police department and all the faith-based. So I'll get you that flyer, hopefully first thing tomorrow morning. And if you could please send it out daily to everybody.
We will. We definitely will.
And Major Dickerson is the one who started this.
Sorry, look, I'm sorry. I missed District 5's event.
Oh, wow. It was heavily advertised. I'm sorry you missed it, but yeah, we've always made it a priority to try to partner with our community and hold events just to build on those relationships, as Major O'Leary stated, and just to build a trust between the police and the community. So we make it a priority, and there are other districts that make it a priority as well. So I'm very to hear that Zach is getting this event together, and it sounds like it's going to be a great event.
Well, thank you. Any other questions, Harris?
One last question was sent in, and this may be open to the broader panel. Can someone address the rise of tobacco stores in the area, particularly near schools?
This is the first I've heard of the rise of tobacco areas near schools. I don't know if one of the district commanders can look at it, but it may be something, it will be something that we can look into to see if there is a rising number of tobacco stores near schools.
And I would say specifically vape shops, then also just the selling of tobacco paraphernalia.
Okay,
So
established store.
as for Clinton, we have not noticed that phenomena out there, but I will ask my officers to check and advise and see if there's a pattern, but we have not noticed that in my district.
All right, that was it. Thank you very much.
Well, first, Deputy Chief Hughes, we want to congratulate you on your new position.
Thank you.
And we look forward to our continually to work with you. And we want to thank our commanders for coming out. I mean, they always come out, but thank you for participating in a larger scale Q&A. And I want to say that we do, I'm going to be partial. District 4 and District 5 are #1 in our book. We have phenomenal officers.
See, I was the captain down at District 4 for a year, so I'm well aware of that.
Yes. So we want to say thank you for coming out.
And thank you for having us. And you guys take care. Have a safe evening.
Okay.
Yes, I would second that. Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure. So we look forward to more of these type of meetings.
Okay. And Major O'Leary, I will be looking for that flyer tomorrow so that we can get that out to the community. And I got it I'm putting it on my calendar. I know I will be there.
Thank you. And and just to say, I have written down everybody's name on this call, and I'm going to take a roll call at that event too.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Good night, everyone.
All of you. Good night. Thank you so much.
All right. Good night, all.
Good night. So then next on our agenda, we have Miss Nova McGrew, who is the business operation. She's head of business operation at the Adventist Hospital of Fort Washington. And we're having her on so you can hear about the great things that are going on since the Adventist Healthcare Network has acquired Fort Washington Hospital. So Ms. McGraw, without further ado, we want to bring you on, but I do want to put a plug in. I was on a call, I don't know, about 3 months ago. And that's where I met Ms. McGraw and one of the doctors at the medical group. And I was so impressed with their presentation and their knowledge that now my primary care doctor is You know, I never say her name right unless I'm
I
looking.
can help you. I can help you. It's Dr. Nyoku. Dr. Nyoku. We call her Dr. A.
That's what I'm calling her. Dr.
Okay.
A. Yes.
Yes, she's a phenomenal practitioner, but let me do my introduction. Hello, 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 Camp Springs. Monique Taylor, thank you so much for inviting me. I am so excited to address you all here today. Please excuse the mask. I am still in a medical facility and we have staff kind of roaming around, so we still have to wear our mask. So I am smiling, showing all my teeth underneath this mask about how excited I am to be here. I'm going to ask two people that are in this audience, this virtual audience, to unmute themselves. And that's Tuesday Cook. She's actually Dr. Tuesday Cook. And Dr. Badir, if he would mute himself as well as I'm speaking. So what I did was I sent out the invitation to some of the doctors, our specialists that we have here for the AMG group to be a part of this call. So they'll probably speak after I do. So again, my name's Nova McGrew, practice manager for the Adventist Medical Group. We are less than a mile away from the Adventist Fort Washington Medical Center, which was normally the Fort Washington Hospital. We are in the Tentalion Square Shopping Center where the AutoZone is. We're on the other end. A lot of people drive up here and they say, we don't even look down there because everything was closed down. But the Adventist Medical Group is here. I welcome you all to come in. If you just wanted to take a peek and take a quick tour, I can do that with you as well, just so you can see what medical care is now in your community. In this Fort Washington area, we are servicing everyone up the Beltway, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, Waldorf, all directions. You don't have to drive into DC. You don't have to drive into Virginia. You don't have to drive up the Beltway to get care. It's right here in the community. Now, let me briefly go over our services. We are a primary care establishment. We have two physicians here. We have, one physician, which is Dr. Nyoku, also known as Dr. A. And we also have a nurse practitioner that is servicing primary care right now. We also have these new specialists that have joined this group and are housed right here at this location. And that is Dr. Cook, Tuesday Cook, who is a bariatric surgeon who is actually on with us, and she'll be speaking, I'm sure, in just a few minutes. And Dr. Badar, who is an orthopedic surgeon. These are examples of how we're building right here in Fort Washington. We didn't have this type of network, I would say, a couple of years ago. People would drive to DC to see specialists. Well, guess what? It's right here in Fort Washington now. And these are phenomenal doctors. I really, really, really would love to see you all come out and just do a tour and speak with me. Look at some of the literature that some of these doctors have written. Some have written articles. Some of them are constantly on Facebook doing awareness campaigns, educating the community about health needs. So these are really good doctors. Some of them are even from this area, left the area and are returning, coming back to service this community. So one of the doctors who are on right now is Dr. Tuesday Cook. Dr. Cook, are you there with me?
I'm here.
There she is. And Dr. Cook, oh, there she is. I would love for you to speak, as well as Dr. Badar. You there with me?
Sure.
Dr. Badar, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, wonderful. And there's Dr. Badar. They're going to just kind of speak and introduce themselves and say hello to the Camp Springs community. And then if you have any questions, please reach out. I'll make sure I give the number, but I really want to see you. I don't want to hear you. I want you to walk in with your mask, but walk in and see me and say hello. I'm so forward to meeting everyone on this virtual call in person. Dr. Cook, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take the stage and say hello to the Camp Springs Civic Group, okay?
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks for your wonderful introduction. So my name is Dr. Tuesday Cook. I am a fellowship trained advanced laparoscopic foregut and bariatric surgeon. I went to medical school at Howard University College of Medicine, HU, you know. And I did my surgical residency in general surgery at Howard University Hospital, which was previously Freedman's Hospital. After that, I went to Penn State to do a fellowship in minimally invasive surgery and bariatric surgery. So I did a lot of weight loss procedures like gastric bypass, sleeve gastrectomy, adjustable gastric band placement. And that was part of my fellowship. The other part was in doing things like Nissen fundoplication for people who have heartburn or GERD that's intractable to medication, or people who are unable to eat because they have achalasia where the bottom part of their esophagus is very tight. I can do Heller myotomies laparoscopically through very tiny holes and ports. I also do surgical endoscopy. And so after I finished fellowship, I went to join a general surgery practice and did procedures like laparoscopic gastric cancer removal, laparoscopic colon cancer removals, breast surgery, thyroid, parathyroids, all bread and butter, gallbladders, hernias, etc. And then I left that practice and went into private practice doing mostly bariatric surgery, probably about 75% bariatric surgery, again, minimally invasively, and endoscopy, as well as doing some general surgery. So you always do a little bit of general surgery, so some gallbladders and hernias and the things that people need kind of on a regular basis. So my real love is bariatric surgery and foregut surgery, because not a lot of people do foregut surgery, especially in the Camp Springs, Waldorf, Clinton, Oxon Hill, Fort Washington area. There's nobody doing that. And so I stayed in private practice for many years, almost a decade, and then decided that I wanted to offer access to these procedures to people who don't have that kind of access. So I'd have people driving from Southern Maryland to come and see me in Rockville. And that's quite a drive for people to have to leave their community and have surgery at a hospital that's far away from home. It's kind of hard for family members even to come and visit. So I took some time off and worked on writing a book chapter and writing some articles. I also worked with the White House COVID-19 task force and health equity forces to encourage people to get vaccinated. I worked with University of Maryland as well, doing these hair, so it's a barbershop and salon community outreach program that's actually across the country. So Atlanta, Chicago, Michigan, Detroit rather. And so we encourage education at the barbershops and the salons so that people come in, and then they have vaccine fairs there so that they get more of their communities vaccinated. So I kind of took some time away from practice to do some of those things during COVID-19, and as well as give lectures at the American Society for Metabolic and Bariatric Surgery, which is our accrediting bariatric organization. And then I decided, okay, I'm coming to Fort Washington. So here I am. I'm ready to serve you. I'm going to build from the ground up a comprehensive obesity management program that's going to have a behavioral health component of it, because we know that behavioral health is a big part of obesity and some illnesses that we suffer from. It's going to have registered dietitians for bariatric patients, people who are seeking weight loss, and it's going to have exercise physiologists as well who are going to do exercise with people that are appropriate for those people. If you have somebody who's wheelchair bound or who's difficult to walk or breathe, then they're not going to go run on a treadmill. So we're going to tailor the exercise and the mental health and the nutritional guidance to each patient in preparation for their operation. We know too that this part of Prince George's County has a very high, based on health surveys from about 2 years ago, has a very high percentage of people with type 2 diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, obstructive sleep apnea, et cetera, joint pains, osteoarthritis. And so I want to help with weight loss surgery and obesity management to help to eradicate or improve, if not resolve, those comorbidities that go along with obesity. And so I look forward to taking care of the community. And like Nova said, I look forward to seeing you all in the office for whatever your surgical needs may be.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Cook. She's a wonderful surgeon. She gets a lot of reviews. When she came, we were so excited to have her. But please come on in again, meet us, say hello. But now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Badar. Dr. Badar?
Hello, it's a pleasure being here speaking with you all. Thank you for having me. I trained at Howard University Hospital, where I did 5 years of orthopedic surgery residency, and then went on to seek a fellowship in joint replacement surgery at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City. And now I'm back in the area trying to get started and help some people who are walking around with a lot of pain, trying to help them kind of remedy that situation. And I know a lot of times it's a vicious cycle. People, especially bigger people, tend to put a lot more strain on their knees and hips. It makes it difficult to exercise, to lose weight, to kind of pursue an active, healthy lifestyle. And then they gain more weight, and then that kind of makes it worse and exacerbates their symptoms. So obviously it's great to also have Dr. Cook here, because even though arthritis is a disease of old age, it's often accelerated because of obesity and the strain that takes on people's joints. But I during my fellowship training, I had a lot of experience in minimally invasive, computer navigated and robotic surgery. So I really am very up to date on the newest technologies, and in an attempt to provide people with a really durable operation that's very accurate and reproducible. I also deal with conservative management for arthritis. I'm sure a lot of you know people in your community that come in periodically for steroid or gel injections into their knees, or seek specific physical therapy regimens that help them with their arthritis, and obviously a lot of oral anti-inflammatory medication that helps. So I don't only kind of deal with the surgical aspect of it, I also manage people non-operatively. I am well versed in doing arthroscopic procedures for meniscal injuries, sports injuries, ACL tears, and all sorts of ailments of the knee. I am really, really excited to get started in this community. Oftentimes there are people in the area that kind of go to DC or go to Northern Virginia to seek specialist care specifically for joint replacement. But I think that now that I'm here, I think we can make some headway in terms of getting people who really need access to care, getting them the access that they need and deserve. And also it's care that a lot of people go to academic centers for, because having just finished fellowship, and with the knowledge that I have about all of these new technologies and robotic procedures, I think that's care that you don't really see on the private practice level. Even if you were to go out to DC or to Northern Virginia, most people don't have the robotics background that I have, and they don't really have it's more of like a young person thing, getting into the minimally invasive and robotic technologies. But that's really how you can help people in a reproducible way. So I'm very excited to be a member of the community. Anybody who's got some knee or hip pain, definitely come on by. Where I'm at the office on it's 10709 Indian Head Highway, with the primary care office that Ms. McGrew was mentioning earlier. And I'm probably going to book up pretty quickly, hopefully. But as of right now, I'm kind of just starting out, so definitely have time and the patience to really get started and give my full attention to the community at large. So really nice meeting y'all. Thanks for having me. I look forward to seeing you in the office hopefully soon.
Thank you, Dr. Badar. So I just wanted to say, Ms. Taylor, I actually grew up here in Fort Washington. I went to Oxon Hill High School. I'm not originally from here. I'm from the West Coast, but I came here when I was 13. And I remember living in Fort Washington, I sprained my ankle. And my mother wouldn't even take me right up the street to the Fort Washington Hospital. We drove all the way to Virginia for care. So just being a part of what's about to happen here in Fort Washington is amazing. We have these phenomenal surgeons on the line that, have taken their time to join this wonderful community civic center, group. And, it's just a sign of what is really about to happen here in Fort Washington. There's more of these doctors that are leaving the area, and they come back home to service this community. And it's going to start here in Fort Washington. No more traveling down the Beltway, no more traveling to DC or Virginia. It's right here around the corner. Now, I just wanted to supply you with an address if you wanted to come take a tour. I did invite Ms. Taylor to come. And she came and she toured their facility. It's huge, it's beautiful. I'm here now, a little nervous because it's in the middle of the night, but it's gorgeous. And I would love for you to come out, because I feel like when you come to a facility, it needs to look nice too. You know, it needs to be beautiful. You're gonna get this exceptional service. You're gonna get it in this place that's absolutely gorgeous. Come out and just at least tour the facility. Where we are located again is in Tentalion Square, 10709 Indian Head Highway in Suite D, like David, in Fort Washington. The number to call to reach me if you have any questions, or, hey, Nova, you know what? I do want to just come over and just take a look. I'm happy with my primary care. I'm happy with my doctors, but I just want to come take a look. Give me a call at 240-724-6018. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to me. And does anybody have any questions for the doctors on the line or for me right now?
Just give us about 8 seconds because
Okay.
there's a delay.
We're ready.
In those 8 seconds, I do want to mention that I will start doing webinars regarding what bariatric surgery is and what it means and what it could do for you. We're going to start those up pretty soon, so just keep an eye out. You may see something on the highway on a billboard, or you might see it on the website, or might see something slipped under your door and in the mailbox. But I'm going to do some of those things, because sometimes when I say bariatric surgery, people are like, what are you talking about? You know, weight loss surgery, that's not for me. But you may find out that it really is for you. So keep an eye out for those pending webinars in the future.
And look at that. Look at that technology coming to Fort Washington. Look at that. Look at these doctors from HU coming back home to give to the community. Look at this. This is just the beginning. That's why we're going to build on these 2 surgeons, but the others will have to wait. But there's more coming. That's what I wanted to say. There's more coming for our community. This is awesome. This is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Again, please come on out. Waiting for those questions, any concerns, not trying to recruit or take you away from your primary care or doctors, but yes, I am. But please come on out and see us and talk to us. Okay.
There aren't any questions, but
Okay.
I will say I'm gonna have to holler at you about that GERD.
Okay.
So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. And I'm hoping to see your faces, because I'm not going to stop with just these groups. I'm going to ask Ms. Taylor, maybe in a month or 2, can I join again as an introduction for the new specialists that join? Because I want you to see these faces. I want you to hear their voices. I want you to have a connection that, you know, some of these other doctors may not have given you before. So I'm excited.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And we thank you for coming out. So community, we say that we don't have certain services. Well, we're getting them, and we had 2. We had Dr. Cook and Dr. Badar, who came out to explain to us their services. So let's support the services that we're getting in our community. And we want to say thank you again. Thank you, Ms. McGrew, and thank you for bringing 2 outstanding doctors with you.
That's right. Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Thank you, Camp Springs. I appreciate you all allowing me to be on with you. And I'm hoping to see you again in another couple of months with some other surgeons on the line, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Real quick, what was the number again for a tour?
Sure. It's 240-724-6018. And when you're calling, just say that you're asking for Nova McGrew. And I'll either return the call or pick up and see if we can get you in here scheduled for a tour.
Great, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Okay, so now our school board representative, that's Mr. Edward Burrows, could not join us tonight, but he did send a representative who's able to provide us information on what is going on with our school system. So let's welcome Ms. Shanika Rawlings.
Good evening. Sorry, good evening, Camp Springs. Thank you guys so much for welcoming me this evening. Mr. Burrows does apologize that he was not able to attend tonight's meeting, but he did also have to attend the meeting for the capital improvement project. So we're hoping great things have come out of that meeting since we've all been joined here. I'm going to talk to you guys about the PGCPS school updates. We are so excited that our students have been able to get back into the building as of yesterday, September 8th. And basically we're ready to get them learning again and readjusted into our new world. The Maryland State Department of Education has required a safe return to in-person instruction and the continuity of services. Their reopening plan, as well as the PGCPS reopening plan, is posted to the PGCPS website and is a document that is constantly being revised. The next topic, as far as our school systems I want to get into, is transportation. I'm sure you guys have seen all over the news that we do currently have a shortage of bus drivers across the state of Maryland, and Prince George's County is no different. But when it comes to our students, there is an app called Stop Finder. It is available on all mobile devices, and that Stop Finder app provides real-time updates on where your child's bus is and notifications of any late arrivals. And there is also a new transportation resolution system that can be found on the PGCPS website, which has a link to it where if you are having troubles finding your child's bus stop or your child's bus stop needs to be moved, you can definitely click on that resolution system and submit your request. If it is easier for you to call, there is a number also available. That number is 301-952-6570. That goes directly to our transportation office, and they will help you also get resolution when it comes to any transportation issues when it comes to our students.
Ms. Rollins, can you repeat the number?
Yes, it's 301-952-6570.
All right, if you'll please give us 8 seconds.
No problem.
And while we're waiting for the 8 seconds, I just wanted to say, one, I want to thank you, Ms. Rawlings, for stepping in for Mr. Burrows. But I want the community to be aware that Mr. Burrows has agreed to join us each meeting that we have to provide us with updates for our school system.
Okay. Doesn't look like we have any questions. We can move forward.
Sounds good.
Thank you again for coming out this evening.
No problem at all. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much. Well, like we're moving along, everyone. So up next, we have Dr. I never pronounce his last name correctly, so I'm going to call him what we all so lovingly call him is Dr. Howard. Howard is his first name, but that's what we call him. He's the manager and the vice president of operations for the Allentown Discount Pharmacy. If you have not stopped by, please do so. You will get personal care and a warm welcome from our independent pharmacists. And you will not go back to the big box pharmacy. So, Dr. Howard, take it away.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me again. We're happy to be here with you to discuss a little bit with the people of Camp Springs. We are located in the city of Camp Springs on Allentown Road, 7069 Allentown Road. My name is Dr. Howard, and I'm so amazed to see that a lot of people actually went to Howard University, actually got my degree also at Howard University School of Pharmacy in 2008. I just wanted to remind the community that we want to continue to contribute value to the community as an independent pharmacy, but we will need more support from the community because, as you all know, small businesses, if we're not supported, we will not be available for a long haul. Since the last time I came here, we've gotten a lot of people who are interested in discussing their therapeutics with us. They ask us a lot of questions over the phone, over the email. We're very available because when you call the big chains, you understand there's a difference in specialization. For example, most pharmacies have family degrees, but they don't have extra specialization. With us, 3 of our pharmacists are infectious disease experts. I'm certified in HIV and hepatitis C. With my experience, I'm also a diabetic certified pharmacist. So in essence, what we're bringing to the community is a package that you will not see in any of the big chains. And we're coming up with a lot of experience. We're bringing a lot of technology, but what we've been getting so far has been very scant support. We get a lot of people asking us questions, even though they utilize other chains, and they get us requests, but it's not translating into support. And right now, the DEA is pretty much cutting down on pain medications from wholesalers. So we are going to be facing a crisis in the pharmacy world, because we can't support the community if the community does not support us. We want to be here to help the vulnerable populations. That's why we opened the business. And we provide a lot of services that I think are very, very useful to the community. For example, our pricing has been proven by different agencies to be 80% cheaper than Walmart. There's a program called Pointy that takes what our sales are and compares it with all our competitors. And so we're providing quality in terms of saving. And for the Adventist people that were there ahead of us, we're also part of a program that actually helps people in the community to be able to afford their medications. So we want people to take advantage of that, support us, be with us. We do vaccinations, we do COVID testing, we do home vaccinations. So if our seniors cannot come out, we come to your house and give you your vaccines at home. We do free home deliveries. We also help you find manufacturer coupons for drugs that are branded. So we basically go to the manufacturer and say, hey, we want you to help us pay part of the copay for this patient. And those things and services that you don't find anywhere else. And also we have, as a testing site, we have a lot of tests that we brought in into the store that you can come in and talk to us and see what kind of services that we provide. And I'm sure a lot of people that have stepped into the store, they're shocked at the fact that we have tremendous advantage and quality over the competitors. So we want you to come in and support us. We get all of our drugs from the same places. We just don't charge the quote unquote corporate price. We charge you what I consider the Christian price or the fair price, because we're here to help, not to add to the burden of you having to choose between paying for your medications and paying for your other bills. And so other things that we do that is superior to what the chains do is we have very low waits. We have very low waits and we answer the phones real quickly. And we have something we call integrated texting platform, which allows you real time to chat with the pharmacist and ask questions about your medications, even though you're not anywhere near the pharmacy. So we can communicate with you in that way. And also, last but not the least, one of the features that I think is very important is our video Doctor First program. So when you pick up a prescription in the pharmacy and we give you a consultation, we talk to you about how you take your medications and everything that you need. In the comfort of your home, you can always go to the text messaging feature in the pharmacy that will be sent to you after you pick up your prescription. You just put in your date of birth and your name, and it's going to pop up with every single medication that you have picked up in the pharmacy or that you're using. Not only that, there's a video presentation that will talk to you about the medication. It's about 1 minute long, give you the name of your medication, the side effects, and how to take it. That technology is not available anywhere. But unfortunately, because of all the regulations that are coming, all of our efforts to try to bring value to the community may soon be a thing of the past, because now we're at a critical point that Without the support of the community, we may not be in business for more than a year. And I hate to bring that here, but I just want you to know that we had great plans for this community. We want to keep doing great things in the community, want to keep helping in the community, but we need the community to come in, look at the reviews that we have online, come in and ask us questions, compare our services to where you currently go right now. And if we don't meet or exceed your expectations, you don't have to support. But if we do meet your expectations, we want you to keep us in business. We want to bring more value to Camp Springs. We don't want pharmacies closing. We want things to expand. And as people ask me, what about insurance? We take all major insurances. The only insurance that we do not participate in is United Healthcare, not through the state, not because we don't want to, but because there's regulations in the state that is not allowing us to do that. And in terms of co-pays, you get the same things as a chain. Plus, you get a lot of free things that we toss in for you because we are also part of the community. So I'm appealing to everybody in Camp Springs, stop at your local businesses, support us, keep us in business, let us see more minorities opening all kinds of businesses and supporting one another so we can thrive together as a community. I hate to see that patients are having to go to only CVS and Walgreens when there's an independent pharmacy in your neighborhood. So please, I want to challenge everybody in Camp Springs and the surrounding areas, bring your prescriptions over, give it a 1 month try and see what you think about the pharmacy. So I really thank you so much for the opportunity. Phone number is 240-855-0227. You can also email us allentownpharmacy@gmail.com. We've been in the community 2 years now, and we want to keep staying in this community. We don't want to go anywhere else. Thank you so much, and we really appreciate you. You're doing a good job here.
Great. I have a couple questions from the community, but first I'd like to offer the question. Dr. Cook, you had a question? You have your hand up. Can't hear you. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
There you go, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that was a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Dr. Howard, for informing me as a new member of the Oxon Hill, Camp Springs, Fort Washington community of this business that I would love to support. It sounds like you have a lot of things that you're right, the big chains do not have. And I actually am really proud of the fact that you offer vaccines, because we as Black people in this United States really need to make sure that we're vaccinated against COVID-19 because it affects us disproportionately, as does so many other health problems. One question I did have for you is the fact that sometimes bariatric patients sometimes need medications compounded, vitamins compounded, or placed in a different format that I can't get at the larger chains. Are you able to compound medications for the patients that I expect to see, hopefully in the near future, who have already had bariatric surgery or are coming to get bariatric surgery? Many patients can just take some chewable things, but some special patients sometimes need things compounded. Does your pharmacy have the capacity to do these things?
So for right now, we do what we call basic compounding. So the way it works is they're compounding pharmacies and retail pharmacies. So, but we do have references and friends that are small business owners as well that we can refer to. So if it's not basic compounding, if it's something that's a sterile compounding, it will have to be done in a compounding pharmacy, specifically only compounds. So we do have a connection with independent pharmacies in the whole state that we can refer to if we cannot handle that compound. But it depends on the formulation that you use. So maybe what I'll do is if you can email me allentownpharmacy@gmail.com, maybe a sample of the formulas, we can take a look at it and see if it's something that is within the realm of what we are coded as without violating the rules of the state.
Wonderful, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Dr. Howard, could you say your email address slower so we can make sure Dr. Cook gets it?
And phone number.
Sure. So the telephone number is 240-855-0227. And actually on the phone too, if people call, even if it's after hours, we respond to phone calls after hours as well, because we get it a notification for it. And the email is Allentown, A as an apple, LLENTOWN, Allentown pharmacy@gmail.com. And yeah, so you can also find us on Google. So if you type the name, you see a lot of things about the pharmacy.
Awesome. We have 2 questions. The first one is, how easy is it to transfer your prescriptions? And then also, what do you have to do to switch your pharmacy?
That's an excellent question. If you have refills on any medication and you like to support the pharmacy, what you need to do is to give us a phone call. So we'll get your name, your date of birth, your insurance, and then you give us the phone number of your pharmacy and we will do the rest. And what we do is after we've transferred your prescriptions, we'll give you a phone call to let you know the transaction is complete. So we have to be the one calling your pharmacy because they won't do it. That's just the way it has to be done. The transferring pharmacy has to be the one calling. It's very easy to transfer your prescriptions from one pharmacy to another. The only problem is it might not be as quick as maybe you may want it. For example, for us to transfer maybe from a CVS, it may take about an hour or a couple of days because they're just not responsive. I mean, everybody pretty much complains to us that they can't get CVS pharmacy on the phone. I mean, last week I transferred for a person. It took 2 hours to get one prescription from CVS. So if I'm a pharmacy and I'm trying to get a simple transfer, I'm wondering what patients are going through, just trying to ask the pharmacist a question. And it's just not a good look. So, but that's just how you transfer. You give us a call, we'll do the rest for you.
All right, I believe that is it, because yeah, it was 2 parts. It was how easy is it to transfer your prescriptions, and what do you have to do to switch to your pharmacy? So there aren't any other questions. So let's just give our 8 seconds.
So while the 8 seconds is going on, there are a couple of things that we're looking at that we've been planning for the community, but right now we just had to hold off because of the situation. We're already part of the patient assistance program with Fort Washington, which helps people who are low income or going through some financial difficulties to be able to afford their medications. Excellent program by Councilwoman Monica Anderson Walker. I've been part of for about a year and change right now. But the pharmacy is also working on trying to get some sort of a program that will actually benefit our seniors, okay, and help them with their co-pays for 6 months. And that's something we're working on having kickstart in October, but because of the issues that we're going through and not generating enough buzz, it has been put on hold. But I'm hoping that we can restart that and have that kicking off in 2022, so our seniors can be able to take advantage of getting 6 months of copay assistance, especially the retired seniors who really have limited income. So please support us so we can help support the community.
Great, thank you. Aren't any more questions? Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. We're so happy to have you in the community. And I hope this translates into people coming out to talk to you and meet with you and see that the personal touch that you give to your patients. So again, thank you, Dr. Howard.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you in the community.
Yes.
So that is the end of our presentations for tonight. However, we have some announcements. So Camp Springs is having a meetup, and the meetup is being held September the 18th, and it's from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and it's going to be held at 6311 Old Branch Avenue, and that's Masonic Lodge Temple. It is going to be a fun-filled day. It's outside, everyone. We're going to have food, we're going to have games, we're going to have activities, we're going to have line dancing, we're going to have vendors, we're going to have Prince George's county government, providing you some information about what they do. We're going to have nonprofits, profits, and we are going to social distance. So, but we are still looking for volunteers, especially our youth. If you want to, please go to we have a Gmail account called CSCA.contact, CONTACT@gmail.com, so that you can sign up, because we are offering student service hours. And just think about it, you'll be having fun as you volunteer. And the following day, we will have as we always have, the third Sunday of the month, our Camp Spring cleanup, which is going to be held September the 19th. And that is from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. We will be meeting at the dressing room shoe parlor parking lot located at 5061 Allentown Road. Let's keep our community clean. And again, we will be offering student service hours. And we ask that you go onto our website, campspringsca.org, to register. And one last announcement, the Mona Center Urban Farm is having an open house this Saturday, September the 11th, and they're located at 5859 Allentown Way. They're going to have it's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're going to have farm tours, painting, cooking, demonstrations, and you can meet local farmers. That's all for our announcements. Does anyone else have anything that they wanted to inform our community? Okay, well, thank you for your time. I want to say good night and God bless. And we will see you at the October meeting. Good night.
Wait, we have a request for you to repeat the last one.
Okay, Mona Center Urban Farm Open House, 5859 Allentown Way, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate everyone for coming out tonight. So that concludes our community meeting. Everyone have a safe and blessed evening.
Thank you, Monique. That was good.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson.